Okay, let's try this one more time. It's Comic Crack. I almost finished a video and then the camera crapped out on me. So, new comic book day today, September 14th, 2016. Let's have a look. The first one is a DC Rebirth title, the only thing that I'm reading. I'm not as much a DC reader anymore. But this one I wanted to give a shot to. I remember hearing about it when they were announcing all these titles. And unlike some people, I kind of like JR's art. I really liked it in the Captain America series that he was doing with Rick Remender. Again, another series that people weren't crazy about. Totally understandable. I really liked it. And this one so far, it's maybe, I don't know, I enjoyed the first issue enough to want to pick up the second issue. Let's put it that way. Has it blown me away? No, but it's something that I'm willing to give a chance to. I really like this cover as well too. They had multiple covers again at Galaxy, so I'm glad they had this one. Kong of Skull Island. This is number 3 of 6 from Boom Studios. I have all 3 of them. I haven't read the first 2 yet, so I'm hoping to sit tonight and just binge read all 3 of them. Again, it's a title that the art is what drew me into it. It looks incredible. Black Monday Murders is number 2. A hell of a dense read by Hickman, and sometimes my thoughts on Hickman are that he's being difficult just for the sake of being difficult. And I sort of feel like that about this one. It doesn't mean that I dislike the book. It's just sometimes I feel like he's dense just for the sake of being that way. You know what I mean? But there are some nuggets in here. There's some breadcrumbs in here that are leading us down a little bit of a path. I do like the idea of the occult nature to it. It's similar to what I really enjoyed about Nameless by Morrison. I really like that kind of deep look into the occult and the power of words and symbols and that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's a good read so far. We'll see if it continues to be so. Doom Patrol number 1, the first from the Young Animal imprint. Kind of curated by Gerard Way, and he's also the writer on this one. I picked up this cover is by Brian Chippendale. Brian Chippendale is a drummer in a band that I used to be quite a big fan of called Lightning Bolt. I don't listen to them as much these days, but I really do like his art. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. It's even better in person than I originally thought. You can see the individual pieces of paper cut up and collaged together. You can see all the layers that have gone into this piece. It's really kind of mind-blowing. I like it a hell of a lot. It's one of my favorite covers of recent memory. I mean, there's been some amazing covers in comics in general, but this one kind of goes to the top of my list. Also at the top of my list for 2016 will probably be this mini-series. This is House of Penance, and it's the final issue, number 6 from Dark Horse. Peter J. Tomasi and Ian Bertram and Dave Stewart on the colors, and it's been a hell of a mini-series. And this final issue wrapped it up really nicely. I don't know what I was expecting. Did the ending blow me away? No, but it makes sense in the overall arc of the story. It's just a nice ending. Once I finished this one, I did some research on Sarah Winchester, and a lot of what's here is kind of based on what people thought of her at the time and maybe what she was going through, and the reasons why she was doing this with the house are very true to what the mythology is in real life. It's an incredible piece of storytelling, just across the board. They did a fantastic job, and I'm looking forward to talking about this one. I'm going to be on the roundtable on Saturday, and it's due to this book specifically. It's just a nice bonus that Doom Patrol has come out and these other ones to talk about. I'm looking forward to hearing other people's thoughts on this, because I think this is proof of what the comics medium can do really well in telling a story like this. You can really visualize these fears that basically we've had this whole series through Sarah Winchester's eyes, and that becomes even more apparent in this issue. Really, really great read. If you haven't picked it up, either dig for the single issues or just wait for the trade to come out that I'm sure will collect everything, and definitely give it a read. It's fantastic. So that's it for the new comics. Again, I'll be on the roundtable if anybody wants to tune in or whatever the case. On the roundtable last week, this issue of Alters was mentioned, about a trans superhero. And it just really piqued my interest. It wasn't something that I knew anything about beforehand. I believe it was Travis was the only one that picked it up. I can't remember because the feed was kind of cutting in and out. I think it was last week, maybe it was the week before. Anyway, he didn't trash it, but he didn't love it either. But he said enough about it that my curiosity was really piqued. Sorry, Lily, hold on one sec, okay? So that'll be an interesting read. In the back issue bins, Mr. Tom and I, when we were kind of going through his collection and getting rid of some stuff or trading some stuff in, we realized that for some reason we never followed up with Captain America White, and both of us really loved the first issue quite a bit. So they had issue number 2 and 3. I don't know if it was just a 3-issue miniseries or not, but I just picked up number 2 this time for us to continue with it. My revitalized or re-realized, or I don't know what, love of Brennan McCarthy led me to looking up other books that he's done, and this one-shot, Captain America, Who Won't Wield the Shield, has some McCarthy art. I believe it's 2 stories. One with this, what is this, Forbish man or something like that, and that looks like a Deadpool, unfortunately, but Jason Aaron, Matt Fraction, Tony Moore, is that who that's supposed to be? And then, of course, McCarthy there. So I'm very curious to see what this is about as far as back issues go. And then continuing on my reading of Doom Patrol. This is Doom Patrol Book 2. Unfortunately, I had a look in their bins upstairs. I was hoping that maybe I would get lucky and find a used copy that I could pay a lot less money for, but it wasn't to be. I enjoyed the first volume enough to want to continue reading it, and later on there's actually this whole thing. I'm gonna be following through with this whole thing. There's no doubt about it in my mind. The first volume, again, it was one of those things, like it didn't catch me as much. Parts of it felt dated to me. The use of kind of like Burroughs' technique of like cut up writing and things is really dated for me, and I don't know if that's just for me personally. It makes me think about a time and a place very specifically as far as what I was into at the time, because I was really into Burroughs and all these guys, and I was really into his cut up technique. I thought that was a really incredible way of writing, and I tried some of it myself, so I don't know if it hits a little too close to home as far as I'm putting too much of my own personal past into it, but it did seem a bit dated. But there were some ideas explored briefly in the first one that I really liked. One was Cliff the Robot Man, just talking about what it's like to be a brain inside a body, a robot body, and only having the memories of what things felt like and even what arousal felt like, even though he couldn't kind of do that, and the kind of torment and torture. I really, really like that idea quite a bit. And I'm hoping that that gets explored even more. So yeah, Doom Patrol Book 2, all of that said, it was interesting enough that I'm really looking forward to continuing on with this, and this is probably something else that I'm going to dive right into tonight. So there we go. There's a look at this Wednesday's new comic book day haul. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you on Saturday.